Stargazing by Pomegranate, Chapter 1. It was a lovely day, perfect for the start of Edward's quest. He and Nova had left the temple that morning. It was now mid-afternoon, and the next town was less than an hour away. They walked on a cliffside path. It was relatively mild walking, not steep at all, and Edward wasn't too tired yet. The view was gorgeous. A large river flowed down the ridge below them, and lush trees went as far as he could see. The city they had left would have been visible in the distance too, had the path not made a sharp turn. Edward stumbled over a stone. "Please watch your step, Master," Nova said. Edward wasn't entirely sure why Nova was calling him that. He smiled awkwardly. You can just call me Edward, if you want." Nova did not answer. A sound from up ahead broke the silence. "Do you hear that?" "It sounds like a child crying, Master." Edward hurried down the path, with Nova following close behind. He had been right. Up ahead there was a little girl, curled up into a ball and sobbing into her knees. "Hey!" Edward called. "Girl?" She looked up, eyes red. Her lips gave a little wobble. "Are you all right? Where are your parents?" "I don't know," she said. She sniffed and wiped away her tears furiously. "I got lost. I don't know where my parents are." Poor thing. Edward smiled at her reassuringly. "Don't cry. We'll help you," he said. Nova stiffened beside him. "Master," Nova said, pausing for a moment before continuing. "Forgive me, but you are the chosen one. You can't just—" "You're the chosen one?" the girl interrupted, distress forgotten in her excitement. "Like the one the temples always talk about? The prophecy one?" "Yep, that's me," Edward said, grinning down at her. "And as such, we cannot help you," Nova said. "We are headed towards the next town. It's less than an hour away. We will send someone from there to help you, and they will be able to get to you long before nightfall." "Nova, I'm not leaving a little girl all alone on a cliffside," Edward said. Nova flinched, looking down at his feet. "What kind of chosen one would I be if I didn't help people in need?" Edward turned back to the little girl. "Let's go to town together and see if they know anything about your parents." "Okay," she said. She jumped up, much more cheerfully than when they had first found her. "My name's Lila Solis. What's yours?" "Edward Williams. It's nice to meet you, Lila." "And him?" Nova bowed slightly. "I am my master's humble servant." "Servant? Don't be silly. He's my friend, Nova." Nova was silent for a moment. Edward tried to ignore his stupid feelings about the lack of agreement. He was sure Nova was just nervous, shy, awkward. It had been a long time. It wasn't that Nova didn't consider him a friend anymore, surely. Nova took a deep breath and spoke. "Master, please forgive me for pressing the issue, but we cannot bring a child with us. She cannot walk as far, nor as fast as us." "I can," Lila said. "My family are traveling merchants. I've walked everywhere my whole life. I won't slow you down. Anyway, I'm 9 years old. I'm not that small." "Yes, well, we also don't have enough food." "I have my own, see?" She held up a cloth bag. Nova shot her a truly withering glare before schooling his expression into something more neutral. Lila smiled cheerfully at him. "Well," Edward said. He felt a little bad going against Nova's clear wishes, but he wasn't about to leave a little girl all alone on the side of the road. "Now that that's settled, let's continue." "Yes, Master. Forgive my impudence," Nova mumbled. Edward had no idea how to respond to that, so he just smiled at him and began walking again. Lila moved to walk beside him, with Nova falling behind. "What's it like being the chosen one?" she asked. "To tell you the truth, I'm not sure yet. I only just started," said Edward. You are old. You have not just started. Old to you, maybe. I'm only 21, Edward said, laughing. Anyway, I only found out I was the chosen one a little while ago. But how can you practice doing chosen one things like... Lila frowned. Saving the world. How on earth am I supposed to practice that? Well, other stuff then. Magic and whatever else you do. I can't do magic yet, Edward said, a little embarrassed. But aren't you supposed to be super strong with magic? Well, yes, I am. But I can't do anything at all, so far. Lila considered this. Deciding Edward was boring, her attention turned to Nova. Do you like being a temple person? I have known no other life, said Nova. That's not a good answer. Do you like it? It is an honor to serve the gods and my betters. Edward sighed. He wished Nova would start acting normal instead of giving these odd, pre-programmed answers and calling him Master. Did he even want to come on the trip in the first place? Well, if he didn't, he would have refused. Edward comforted himself with that thought. I haven't been to the temple much, Lila said. With all our traveling, we only stop by sometimes. It's boring. The services are long, and you can't talk during them. You can't even sleep. Edward felt the same way, but he wasn't about to say that in front of Nova. He hoped Nova wasn't too offended by Lila's words. Most children were probably bored by the temple services. Lila, why don't you tell us about your parents so we can keep an eye out for them, Edward said. Oh, so my mom and dad are super tall. When I grow up, I'll be taller than you. My mom has black hair and brown skin like mine, but her face is like... Lila tried to squish her face. It was ineffective in communicating what her mother looked like. And she is so thin and her hair is super long. And my dad, he's paler than me and her and has short hair. And his face is round like mine. And he's bigger than Mom, but he's pretty thin too. And he always wears this big leather jacket. I asked for my own, but he said no. And we always have our big cart with our merchandise. It's got a lot of stuff in it. Probably none of that would actually help them find her parents, but at least she had stopped talking about the temple. Nova seemed calmer with the attention off him. Not that he was an open book right now. Do you like being a merchant's daughter? Edward asked. Yes, I like walking everywhere and seeing all the things and places. Traveling is so much fun. I don't have any friends, though. I play with other kids I meet sometimes, but they're not real friends. But it's okay because I have Mom and Dad. I've always wanted to travel, Edward said. He glanced at Nova, who didn't seem to have any particular reaction to this. My father and I never did, because he had too much work to do. It's good we have such an experienced traveler with us to help us along. Yes, Lila cheered. I can help. She began to chatter endlessly about traveling advice. Edward wasn't sure how useful the advice would be, since it seemed to cater to 9-year-old girls instead of adult men, but he liked her enthusiasm. He glanced at Nova whenever Lila said something particularly funny to see if he would laugh or smile, but Nova's face remained expressionless every time. I'm sorry, little miss, the innkeeper said. The couple you're talking about passed by a few days ago. Oh no, Lila said. They must have thought I went the other way. Don't worry, Lila, Edward said. We'll find them. We'll go the same way they did. Master, Nova said, I truly don't mean to push or question your decisions, but wouldn't it be better for one of the people here help her? You have duties, Master. We can't just take advantage of these people's hospitality, Nova, Edward said. Yeah, that'd be rude, said Lila. Yes, Master, please forgive me. I will not question you again. Nova held his hands out in front of him, palms up. Was that some sort of temple custom? What was Edward supposed to do, kiss his palms? He would absolutely do that. He was pretty sure that was not what he was supposed to do. He had no idea what Nova wanted him to do. Edward had never been good at nonverbal cues. Edward just ignored it. If it was important, Nova would tell him. No, it's fine, he settled on. Why don't we go get dinner? Nova bowed. Yes, master. Please, both of you, have a seat in the dining room, and I will go get your meals. No, you don't have to. But Nova was already gone. How far are we from the next town? Lila asked. It was the next day, and early. Edward was still half asleep. How were Nova and Lila so alert? Both of them were walking in front of him, a little ways ahead. 2 days. We will have to camp. Are you sure you don't want to stay here? Nova said. Yep, I'm used to camping. Nova muttered something to himself. Not something particularly favorable, going by his face. Lila looked pensive. I'm worried. What if we go the wrong way to meet my parents? Nova showed Lila the map. There are only 2 paths from here. One leads to the city Catherine, the other leads to a small village. Do you remember anything your parents said about where they were going? Don't worry, Edward said, walking a little faster to catch up. We can go either path, even if it's not on our way. As my master wishes. Well, we were running low on supplies, said Lila. They might go to the city to restock. We've been to Catherine before, too. We go every year to sell during their festival season. You don't remember anything else? Said Edward. No, they didn't tell me. Or I just forgot, which is pretty likely. What if they go somewhere else to look for me, though? Why don't we go to the city, since you think they might have gone there? It's where Nova and I were going in the first place. We'll ask around for them, and if we don't find them, we'll come back and go the other way, okay? It would add a lot of time if they went the wrong way, but it wasn't like the quest had a time limit. At least, not as far as Edward knew. Okay, said Lila. Edward smiled at Nova. Nova did not return the smile and averted his eyes.